Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
After the career that he's had in the NFL thus far, you get the sense that he was underrated coming out of college. Not just great intangibles, but the ability to make plays come alive, whether he's exiting the pocket or throwing from within the confines of it.
A first down throw for Cousins. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But He did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And give him a gain of 37.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Here's Ajayi. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it, because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down for Philly. Wentz on target to Hollins. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Solid.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Wentz now on first down. Flush to his right. And he coughed it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the cities.
2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain, 48 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
They start the drive with Cook, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. And they're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Second down, Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Cousins from the gun on third. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense, but you know what else is happening too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
First down, here's the run with Cook. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 11 carries, 57 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Cousins now on second down. Left side caught by Diggs. Heck of a move and then brought down near the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Vikings on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Now Wentz. Flushed out right. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Working from the gun, Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudens.
All right, now here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They go play action here on first down. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it, for them to get that?
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Third and goal for Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They run with Ajayi. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Wentz going to throw. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 11 back.
What's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On second down, here's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field Don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed
Super toe.
On 2nd down, Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen is complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. On play action, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A give. This is Cook. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. He needed 2. He got 1. And that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Getting set for the next drive, the tight end, Zach Ertz. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, the good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Wiggles free. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. On the ball. Shorty.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He stays up, buying time to his left. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When he break a couple of tackles, I mean, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll throw again. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Cousins on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Cousins again, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dylan Cantrell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
On the ball.
Wentz now on 1st down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a play fake. Wentz. Finding room to the 20. This complete left side to Aguilar. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Wentz now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And the kick by Elliott is good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start in the NFC East with 2 teams that have no love lost between them. Washington at Dallas. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Josh Dotson, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to Kansas City. Check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. A touchdown pass there for Derek Carr. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And that one all even in their matchup with the visiting Dolphins. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. Alex Smith, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's a jive. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now it's a jive, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Lefty.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone.
Ojai hit. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
The The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And that's going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Throwing now is Wentz. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's Wentz to throw. He finds Aguilar over the middle. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
Different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, That's the one that bothers me more.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Cousins to throw it. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run again with Clement. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. On the tackle defensively, Jaleel Johnson.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wentz going to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And just shutting him off there. Left side caught by Diggs. The Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Cousins now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Again, it's Cook. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Still staying down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will tie things at 20 all. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at its 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Throwing his Wentz. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in the bunch.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Linval Joseph. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Oh, another one. And now running, he's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there, 85 yards. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's into the clear. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive. And we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.